Hopefully this works. All right. Hello friends, welcome back to Liz's Reading Corner, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Liz and I like books, and today we are doing a slightly different video. This angle actually makes me look really tall. I'm honestly not this tall. I just have really small bookshelves, but I'm here for it. I feel like a giant right now, so let's go with that. Today I am going to clean up my bookshelf. This is basically the only bookshelf that I have because we don't really have a lot of room or a lot of space for bookshelves. I do have like a small one just next to my desk here, which you can't see, and I also store books up here just to make it look pretty. But obviously, so as you can see, you wouldn't normally see this in the videos. You would normally see, or in my other videos, you would normally just see these two shelves, I think. But up here is just a collection of random bits and pieces that we have collected along the way. And so I actually I want to change that. So I want to put, actually I should probably explain how my shelves go first. So I need coffee. It's early in the morning and I don't want to put my coffee down because I'll spill it. But at the same time, I need two hands to talk. Anyway, so my shelf, what you can't see is down the bottom there is there's children's books down the bottom. Then I have in this section down here that you can't really see, but I'll show you in just a moment. I have, you know what, there's an easier way to do this. We have, so down here, oh my goodness, the light, children's books. I also crochet. Oh my gosh. So down here we have my children's books. I also crochet and I have and knit, and I have just like wool everywhere. This shelf is, when it would like to focus, this shelf is my already read plus projects shelf, which definitely needs to be cleaned up. This is my to be read. So I have read the first Harry Potter book. I've read all the Harry Potter books, but I read that first special edition, so I have the other two to read. All of these are library books, so I put my library books there, and that's also my books that I need to read. And then this is my TBR shelf, as well as these books, because I have all I've read Playing Beady Bow, and Alice in Wonderland, but the other ones I have to read. And I have my wax melts burner that will be going on very shortly because I need pretty smells for cleaning. And then up the top here is our bits and bobs and photos section, because there's a couple of photos that normally go up there that I will be cleaning off. So what I want to do is change this to a TBR shelf, have this maybe as a second TBR shelf if I need it, or change that to a library shelf. And then this is my already read, and that's storage. And then down the bottom I'll just be taking the random stuff off the shelf. All of my children's books will be staying, but just a lot of these, well, this shelf and this bottom shelf need to be gone through, because there are some books that I'm never going to read again. I'm just really disappointed in. And there are just some books that I'm never actually going to get to that I've decided that it's not worth keeping because I'm never going to read them. So yeah, and I need more space on my bookshelves. So time for a cleanup, time for a refresh. And I think this shelf definitely needs to be cleaned because that's very dirty. While we're talking about cleaning things, I had someone mention, or Sarah, hello Sarah, I had Sarah mention the Bluebird tea set in the back here. This display cabinet is full of things that my husband inherited from his nan when she passed away. So all of these things were things that she had put away for him that she wanted him to keep. So that's where that comes from. And his little bit of fossilized wood, where is it there? So he has a little piece of fossilized wood that he found somewhere. I don't even remember the story of that. But yeah, so all of this, everything in this display cabinet, inherited. And we love it. We love her for that. That is full of our favorite things that we inherited from her. Actually, while we're talking about things, special things, I am obsessed with Studio Ghibli. I'm obsessed with anime. Anime is like one of my favorite things aside from books. And I have a friend who lives in Sydney. So we live in Brisbane in Queensland. I have a friend who lives in Sydney, and every time she comes up, she gets me a Totoro. So these Totoros are from my person Brit. I love you. I love Totoro. Not sure if you can see. This is embarrassingly dusty. Let's see if we can show you. It has been a while since I have cleaned it. That is disgusting. I am thoroughly ashamed of myself. That's a bit gross. This, much cleaner. No dust. That's genuinely terrible. That should never have got that bad. Now I get to figure out what on earth I'm going to do or what I'm going to put there. That's going to be interesting. All right. I need to figure out what I'm going to put there. I think I'm going to put the Harry Potter books there because that ties in with our Squishmallows. So we'll put Harry Potter there. Stay. Stay. And then the Hobbit books. And then what do we think? That's not scented. I think that's as close to scented as I'm going to get. Okay, then we'll put squishes. Sorry, I need to stop saying sorry. This display shelf, display shelf. This display shelf tends to be just all of my favorite things. So I'm in Slytherin. I love Harry Potter. I've been a Harry Potter fan since I was a child. Like, I've always loved Harry Potter. And every time that I've been sorted in any kind of a sorting thing, I have been sorted into Slytherin. So I am absolutely just a Slytherin fan. My husband is Gryffindor, which is why we have the Gryffindor line. I think he said every time bar one he's been sorted into Gryffindor. So my Harry Potter special editions, these are the Mina Lima special editions. I am obsessed. I can't wait. I really, really hope that they continue making special editions because these are just gorgeous. I'll have to do a video on these. My husband he likes the Lord of the Rings movies, but he likes also the idea of reading the Lord of the Rings, and I wanted to read the entire collection of the Lord of the Rings. So I haven't actually read any of these books yet, but they look pretty, and I love the Lord of the Rings movies, and Alice in Wonderland will forever be my favorite story and my favorite movies. Every time they make an Alice in Wonderland movie, I'm obsessed. I just love Alice in Wonderland to the point where I have a tattoo. This is not just the books, it is also a puzzle, so I love that. So my favorite shelf, this became a show and tell. I wasn't actually intending on doing a show and tell, but this is also a show and tell apparently. I have actually read The Eye of the World, these first two books, but I never actually get any further than I think the third book every time I try to reread them. So one of my goals is to actually try and get through these books eventually. Once I've got the whole series, then I can just sit down and read them. And Playing Beady Bow is one of my favorite books from childhood. How is that? How are we liking that? I think I try really hard not to have my son's picture or just any videos or anything of my son, because I don't think that it is really something, like, it's not my place to be putting him on the internet, but he said he's fine with this because he's 7, he's just turned 7, so he looks a little bit different to there now, so apparently he's fine with it, so I have asked his permission. That was a bit chaotic. That was chaotic for me. I don't normally film myself doing things, so I feel really awkward even filming. Normally I sit down and talk to the camera, and even when I'm doing reading vlogs and like doing updates in reading vlogs, I just sit down and talk to the camera, so I'm not in my usual element. I just don't know what to do with myself. And it's also really awkward just filming myself doing things. Oh, he's Slytherin. Our son has Slytherin. I don't think he has a Gryffindor. He's obsessed with snakes. So he just wanted Slither, and he hasn't actually been sorted, but he came out one morning and put his little squishmallow there, and it has just stayed there ever since. But anyway, on to the mess that is these bookshelves. This is going to be interesting. I have no idea how I'm going to put this or what I'm going to do with any of these things. Put Alice here. Stay. Oh, I found the key. Oh my gosh. We have been looking for months for this key. This key goes to our other display cabinet. We have a really old china cabinet that a friend got us for our engagement present, and I have been looking for this key. I have been looking for this key for months. Almost 6 months. And I put it somewhere safe. And now I found it. Timothy, I found it. I'll quickly share. So I'll quickly share these little rock pets. My husband made these when he was a child and still has them. I think they're the cutest thing ever. Our son also loves them. He wants to make some rock pets too. But aren't they adorable? No more show and tell, I promise. Let's all agree to just not talk about how dusty that was. Now we're actually into what I was planning to do. Okay, so the top 3 shelves are the ones that I will be, I don't know if I can move you back so you can see them all. No, we're going to leave it here. So the top 3 shelves are the ones that I'll be going through first. I think I'm going to put my own TBR, so my actual physical TBR, onto this shelf. And then move the library books up to this shelf. Depending on how many TBRs there are, or how many books I have left, I should say. Some of these books are definitely going. So, it's always, I never know where to start. I hate decluttering books, it makes me so sad. But at the same time, I know that there are books in here that I'm never going to read. Just do it. Just do it. These 3, I'm never going to read these. I read Legend in high school and I loved it in high school. I never actually got through the series because my school didn't actually have the entire series, and it was also really popular, so it was really actually difficult to get the books on loan because my school didn't have a holding system. So, and my library doesn't actually have them, I don't think, but I'm never going to read them. So I have Legend and Knights of, try that again. I have Legend and Knights of Dark Renown by David Gemmell. I don't remember where I got The Left Hand of God. I've tried reading this several times and I just can't get into it, so there's no point keeping it, right? More photos. They're everywhere apparently. What else? The Sarah Douglas books. So these are on, these are on my TBR to be done this year. I think this is probably going to make some people sad, but I'm never going to get to these. These have sat. I've had these for how long have I had these? 5 years? I got them, we bought, oh, books are falling everywhere. So we bought a, what did we buy? We bought a set of shelves, like a big set of cube storage shelves. And in one of the cubbies, there was just a whole bunch of books. And when I contacted the lady, she said that she didn't want them because they'd moved into state and that I could keep them. And I was like, oh, they seem interesting. So I've had them for like 4 or 5 years. I've never read them. And looking at them, I don't think I'm actually ever going to read them. So, and I know someone mentions that she is a good author. But if I want to pick up her books, I'll probably just pick them up through the library instead of actually owning and taking up space with physical copies. So off they go. That was already more books than I intended to, or more books than I thought I was going to get rid of. The rest of these, so, oh, there's a gecko. That just startled me. Where'd you go? Where did you go? Where are you? There you are. There's a gecko. Where are you? Here. Come here. You're okay. You're okay. Yeah. How about we get you off the shelf so you don't get hurt, hey? Can you see? I don't know if you can see. There's a little gecko just there. There's a little gecko. I don't know if I can catch it. Hey. Hi. Hey, little one. Come on. Come on. You're okay. Chaos. So, just so you're aware, while I was trying to catch the gecko, which is still on my shelves, all of the books that I just piled on my desk fell over and knocked my coffee onto my keyboard, which is something my husband is not going to be surprised by. I spilled so many coffees, or so many drinks. I've spilled so many drinks on so many keyboards that it's just a meme in our circle right now. And I may have to buy another keyboard because it's just happened again. It has been years. It's been, I think, 3 years, 4 years since I've spilled a drink on a keyboard, and I just broke that streak. I'm really annoyed with myself. Really annoyed with myself. No books were harmed, just my keyboard. Okay, so I think my keyboard's okay. Pro tip, if you ever spill a drink on your keyboard, Q-tips. Anyway, so after the great geckoing of 2024, we're putting books back. Oh no. Op shots, why? They're gonna have to stay on. This is gonna annoy the crap out of me. So we went op shopping late last year, I think it was, and I got a whole bunch of Stephen King books, but they have stickers on them and I can't get them off without ripping the covers, so I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get them off. I used to love Stephen King. I don't love his writing as much as I used to. I think I've just grown out of it, or just, I don't know, maybe I've just read too much Stephen King, I'm not sure. But I really wanted to go through and just reread the Stephen King books, all of the Stephen King books, as many as I can get my hands on anyway, and just figure out which ones are now my favorites, because my favorites from when I was a teenager are not the same. So, Stephen King. So we have, what do we have? Cell, Revival, Nightmares and Dreamscapes. I don't think I've actually, that sun is really bright. Nightmares and Dreamscapes, I don't think I've actually read, and I have somewhere here the Green Mile. There it is, the Green Mile. Unfortunately, they all have stickers on them though. So, you guys can go up there. The Girl with All the Gifts, I have actually read. If you like zombie apocalypse type stories, highly recommend. And then, so the sequel is The Boy on the Bridge. Yeah, so the sequel is The Boy on the Bridge. I haven't read this yet. This, I think I'm going to read it next month. I'm actually starting to make TBRs, which is wild, but I have so many projects on the go, or so many reading challenges, I guess, on the go, that I'm actually having to make TBRs just in order to keep up with them. Sorry, this one is to be read. A House of, what is it? House of Sky and Breath and A House of Earth and Blood. I don't even know which one's the first one. Crescent City. House of Earth and Blood. So House of Earth and Blood is first, so I'll put them this way. So I got gifted these for Christmas. I have found out since that they are actually romantasy novels, so that's going to be interesting to read them. But I will read them because they were gifted to me. So I'm actually, I think, reading House of Earth and Blood in June. So on the TBR, and then great, you left a QVD sticker on. Oh no, it won't come off. Another one that won't come off. Britt, my person, gave these to me to read. She's usually pretty spot on when it comes to giving me books that she thinks I'm going to like. So these are on the TBR. Stay. And then I have The Ruin by Dervla McTiernan. I read Where's Nina? Or What Happened to Nina? I read What Happened to Nina, and I think I have a new favorite author. I haven't read this one yet, but I'm dying to get to it. I just have so much else to read first, so I can't wait. And then what am I going to do? Okay, so we now have this shelf here, this second shelf. Most of these are library books, so they're going to stay on there, but I have the Hunger Games trilogy that I really want to read. We got them for, I think it was like $2 each. Do they have it written inside? $3 each. Yeah, we got them for $3 each. Haven't got to them yet, but everyone that has read them says that they're amazing. I just tried to read Divergent, and I really did not enjoy Divergent, so hopefully these are better than Divergent, but I have them. And then we have library books. I'm going to move this. 9 times out of 10, I'm actually maxed out on my library borrows. So the fact that this is almost empty is a huge thing. My library allows 20 physical books at a time and 10 ebooks, I think it is. So, and I think right now I'm at 18 because I'm waiting for a few to come in. We have Finders Keepers, The Book of Doors. I have a reading vlog coming out about this soon. This book is phenomenal. I wish I could read it for the first time again. It was so good. This is going to annoy people. I have no rhyme or reason as to how I put my books in a bookshelf. They just go in the bookshelf and they stay there. There is no sorting. So if you don't like if you're a person that likes sorted bookshelves, you won't find that here. Just to warn you all. What Happened to Nina? Fathom Folk, I'm going to have to put up. So I actually did start reading Fathom Folk, and I think I was in a fantasy slump when I started reading this because I just finished reading a couple of other really heavy fantasy books, and it just was not the right time. So this is going to have to go back up on my TBR shelf because I haven't actually finished it. I had to DNF, soft DNF this one. Oh, it's my other Kindle. I crocheted a Kindle slip for my other Kindle, and this Kindle actually doesn't work. I dropped it. So I used to take, when I went to the gym, I would take my Kindle to the gym, and I dropped my Kindle on the treadmill when I finished. So as I was getting off the treadmill, I dropped it and scared the crap out of everyone in the gym because they all thought that I'd actually hurt myself, or that it was my phone, but it was actually my Kindle, and it has never worked since. So that makes me really sad. the Bartimaeus trilogy. This was the first book series that I ever bought. I love these stories. I can't wait to read them. My son, because of the covers, because the covers are very interesting. My son really wants to read them, but I don't think he's quite at the level to be reading through these yet, even with me, like even if I was to be reading them with him. So I've kept these because they have sentimental value, obviously, but also because my son wants to read them, like he's obsessed with them. My only problem is the first book. It's this is just yellowed with age, so these are like 20 years old now. But the first book, some of the pages started falling out as soon as I bought it, and when I went back to the bookstore, they couldn't actually replace it because they didn't have any more in stock, and they weren't going to be getting any more in stock. So that made me really sad, but I just kept it because I want the series. I could probably rebuy them now, especially with how easy everything is to get off the internet or to order off the internet. But these were the first books that I actually bought myself, and it's sentimental value, really. I've started buying or getting my husband to buy just collections of stories, so we have a couple of different collections. We are WoW players. This is not going to surprise anybody who knows us. We have started collecting the World of War, or I have started collecting. My husband actually bought this one, so this one was bought by my husband. Illidan's one of his favorite characters in World of Warcraft. But now that I've had this, I kind of just want to buy all of the World of Warcraft books because there is a surprising amount of lore that is locked behind the World of Warcraft books. So, Illidan. Really, really quickly. So, this is The Island of the Blue Dolphins by Scott Odell. I read this book in grade 6. Our grade 6 teacher read it to us, and I have loved it ever since. I have read this every year since grade 6. So how old was I then? How old's grade 6? 12, 11. So 11, 10. So grade 6 is in Australia, at least. You're 10 turning 11. So I've read this every year for 26 years. 25 years. 25 years. I've read this every year for 25 years. This is my comfort book. This is one of my comfort books. I love this book so much. It is such a little, like, it's just a little read. It's a short read. I think I read it in like a day now, and I could almost write it, if I'm honest. I've read it that many times. So this is a story about a tribe of Indian people who lived on the Galapagos Islands, and they were found by some European sailors and taken away, all except for Karana. Yeah, Karana and her brother. I don't want to give the story away if you haven't read it, but it is really sad, and I believe it is based on a true story. I'll probably have to look that up, but I believe it's based on a true story. I love it. It is one of my favorite reads, like I said, and it is my comfort read. So if I need a book after like reading just like a book that's like totally wrecked me in some way, I will read this, either this one or Playing Beady Bow, and that kind of that will usually save me from a reading slump. Usually. If they can't, then it's Harry Potter. And then we get into all the books that I'm not keeping. This, I didn't expect, if I'm honest, to be this ruthless with how many books I'm getting rid of. But I'm getting rid of a lot of books. So I have The Priestess of the White by Trudy Canavan. What is it called? It's the Black Magician series. So it's the Black Magician series. I have book 1 and 2. I don't remember where I got these from or why I got them. I love Trudy Canavan, but I'm never going to get to these books, especially with how many other books I have to read. Like, so that's just my physical TBR of books that I own. On Kindle, oh dear Lord, on Kindle I have, a lot of them are like classic tales too, but I've been buying Kindle books for a really long time. Like, I've had a Kindle since my husband and I got together. So when we first started dating, the first year he bought me a Kindle. So I've had a Kindle for 13 years now. So I've been collecting books on Kindle for 13 years. And I have over 3,000 books, like over 3,200 books or something ridiculous like that. So if I don't have time What was the point in that? What was the point in that story? Oh, so I have a Kindle Unlimited membership as well. So just the fact that I have thousands of books on my Kindle to read, plus all of these, plus all of the new releases that are constantly coming out, plus all of the books that I find in the library as I'm going through library books. I just don't have time to read, I guess, old books, and just not even just old books, because I do enjoy some old books, but just the fact that I have all of these books and I could just get them from the library or just buy them on ebook if I wanted to buy them again. The point of that story is just to say that I don't see the point in keeping physical books if I'm not going to read them anytime soon. It's just taking up space. If we have to, because we rent, if we have to move, that means that I have to move them. So I'll probably, all of these books I'll probably just put up on like Facebook Marketplace as like a set, like a big box of books to get rid of. This may or may not surprise you, given how tough I was on the second one. And I literally just bought these. Empire of the Vampire and Empire of the Damned. I was so disappointed. So disappointed with Empire of the Damned that I just can't. I can't keep these. I don't like them. I absolutely hated reading Empire of the Damned. Honestly, I don't think I'm going to read, because if there's a third book coming out, I don't think I'm going to read this one either. So that's another series that I've just am DNFing because I just didn't enjoy it, or I didn't enjoy the second book. It turned into a Sarah J. Maas book, from what I've heard. I've never actually read any of her books, but from what I understand, may as well have just been one of her books. That's my shelves cleaned. My book's gone through. I have a couple of things I need to rehome, or not rehome, but move to a different part of our house. They look so much cleaner. So we have my physical TBR, my read books that I'm keeping, my library books, and now a completely empty shelf and a shelf down the bottom of children's books that we won't be going through because I'm keeping all of those, and our new display, which looks really pretty. And so another reason that I wanted to also put these books up here is so that I can, if I choose to, stand and talk. Because when I talk, I use my hands a lot. And when I'm sitting down and doing videos, it just feels a bit awkward. So this way I can stand if I choose to and do videos, which is pretty cool. So there we go. I have done a big unhaul. I unhauled, how many books did I unhaul? I unhauled 18 books. That is so many more books than I anticipated unhauling. When I started this, I was like, oh yeah, I'll just get rid of a few, maybe 10, keep as many as I can. But once I started thinking about it and realizing either just how unhappy books made me, or just how little motivation I had to read them, it just made sense to get rid of them. 18 books I'm rehoming. Many rambles, much show and tell. Thank you for watching my video. As always, if you enjoy what I do here, please like, share, and subscribe. I actually have quite a few videos that I have coming out very shortly. I just have to get in and stop being lazy and edit them. This light is not great. The sun has just decided to come through the trees at a really awkward angle. So there is just a lot of sunlight streaming in our front windows now. Awesome. Thank you all for watching my video. If you have any books that you think I would enjoy reading, please let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.